the GSL Codes. Aces on our toes is here. And we just saw Parting beat Puzzle pretty badly.
Yeah, you know, it was...
They were not the cleanest games either.
No, I mean, it's almost never that you see like a perfect PvP where both players actually totally get it.
Well, you know, the other thing is that PvP is a very fragile matchup.
It is, man.
Especially in the start. The longer the game goes on, generally the matchup can stabilize a little bit more, but it's a very, very delicate matchup.
Yeah, one mistake and it can just all end.
Well, up next, we have Keen against Nada.
And I was looking, you know, how we said that they've been in the same group 3 times in a row. It's actually been like 4 or 5, apparently.
Yeah.
And that's pretty insane, man. Keen keeps picking Nada, I think because Nada crushed him so badly when they played a while back. Probably wants to get revenge.
He wants revenge.
Nada just
He's a vengeful nerd.
Yeah, Nada doesn't care. Nada's like, listen, little kid, when you were born, I was winning OSLs, all right?
I was killing dragons.
Yeah, and I'm only 2 years older.
And he's like, but dragons aren't real. He's like,
because I killed them.
That's because I killed them all. They're not around anymore because Nada killed them. Now, I kind of like that, though, about Keen. He's just like, yeah, he's got a rival.
Oh, absolutely. Keen's been good lately, too, especially on some
Look, he's been improving
games.
a lot, man. Yeah. All right, Keen from MVP going up against Nada from OGS here in the GSL Codes.
Excuse me.
In the upper right starting location, in the red, we have Nada's rival. He is
MVP King.
You know, I feel off calling him Nada's rival, I have to say. If you're Nada's rival, you have to be, like, someone else. Someone from StarCraft 1 that's won OSLs.
Nada, he views Nada as a rival.
Yes.
In the bottom left starting location, we have the Renaissance Nerd. His ideas.
OGS Nada.
What's that thing above the ramp? A little emblem or something?
Yeah, man, that's a Terran emblem, man.
It is?
Yeah, it's like one of them. There's like different clans of Terran or whatever.
Yeah, man.
I haven't played the single player yet, but that's my understanding of it.
Can't believe you haven't played the single player.
I'm sorry, man. This is like what I do. It's like actually what I care about in life is like actually playing StarCraft 1 vs. 1s. That's it.
Dude, like, the single player is pretty easy, too, to go through if you're a pro gamer. If you just sit down and kind of...
No, I know. Remember, we still have that bet.
Oh, yeah, we haven't done the bet.
On Brutal. I finished the last level on Brutal within 3 tries.
Yes. I had this bet with him. It's a $10 bet or something.
I think it's like 20, and we have to film it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to do that at some point in time. Because Brutal, you know, if you don't know what's coming at you in a single player mission, you know, that could be pretty tough.
Yeah,
that's actually possible.
What race do you use in the final mission, Terran?
You're Terran.
Oh, dude, I'm going to make Banshees, man, and Marauders. What? It's so easy. You're a silly guy. Oh, man. Tasteless. Tasteless, you funny guy. Jeez. He's like, oh, I guess you were right. Like, first try.
He's like, what are you up against?
I'm like kiting with Marauders. He's like, mutas are trying to kill my Marauders, but I have Medivacs. He's like, ah. All right, so we do see a Tech Lab for Keen. That means that he's going to make a Reaper. In the meantime, Nada scouting over here, or Keen scouting over at Nada, rather.
You can see Nada got a lot of votes here, 35 to 16. But, you know, part of that makes me wonder if that's just because Nada is such a fan favorite.
Yeah, and, you know, I feel like that could be the case. It's not the easiest group to predict. But, you know, if I just look at the group, if I'm not, like, really up on seeing their games, all these guys' games recently, I would say Puzzle Nada.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they got the most... They got the most votes, and we haven't seen any of these players play recently too much. Like some. And
Nada's won every single time they played.
Yeah.
Keen, it would be huge for Keen to win this.
Yeah. And in fact, the groups are random this season, so it's funny that they happen to get the same group. That Mr. Che, man, I don't trust him.
Dude, the Reaper is coming out.
He is indeed.
And, Reaper builds great in this matchup.
Yeah, I like Reaper builds in this matchup overall. They're pretty neat.
Well, it gives you a unique way to control the map and to harass your opponent. And their Reaper builds are always sort of like the not common Terran build, you know?
Nada going Reactor Hellion. A single Reaper beats a single Hellion. but with a Reactor Hellion build, you're going to have 2 Hellions, and that beats a Reaper.
That does, Artosis. You're so wise.
I know, right?
Now, remember, there's only like so many locations you can jump into the main on this map because the main is 2 levels higher instead of 1.
That's right. Now, there are 2 Reapers out and with the 3rd one on the way. I like the triple Reaper openings. They're pretty cool. Keen has already shown that he is going for Bio, and now Nada as well. Well, no, he has actually. That's a starport. Thank God. I want to see mech so bad.
Uh-oh. No way to really get away here.
Yeah, all those units
Oh my God, once again, Keen off to a very bad start.
Yeah, losing 2 Reapers doing basically no damage. I mean, he killed, what, an SCV? Damage to Hellion? That's not a good opener for when you're making that many Reapers. You know, I like 3 Reaper builds. Is just straight up 3 Reaper build good on this map? I'm not so sure. You know, maybe one of the ones
too big.
Yeah, it could be. Well, here we go. The Hellion's coming up, and this is going to be a little bit deadly. Getting that Reaper, and going to kill off a lot here. The bunker
This is
does
really
finish.
bad.
Yeah, it is.
He actually did have an opportunity to go into the main.
Yeah,
Is
just...
there an SCD in there or Marine? No, it's SCD. Okay.
Oh, that's funny. Well, combat shields are done for Keen, and he has stabilized now. Nada going to go ahead and expand mech. Nada going mech. All right, everyone, sit back and enjoy Nada going mech in TVT. You guys have not... Some of you may not have been lucky enough to have seen Nada go mech in StarCraft 1 TVT. He had some of the best TVT there ever was.
Oh, absolutely. He's a really good player.
Well, he's one of the greatest humans there ever was, not just Terran players, not just gamers. Yeah. One of the greatest humans of all time.
Better than, you know, Socrates.
Dude, look. All right, they both invented ways of thinking.
Yeah.
Nada invented the macro way. Socrates was the father of modern thought, right?
Philosophy, yes.
Okay, so which one was more important to history?
Origin of philosophy.
That's an opinion question, Tasteless. I'm going with Nada. Macro is my life philosophy, Tasteless. All right, so this is just really exciting for me, man. I don't think I've seen Nada go pure mech, just a standard good mech.
Casted as many. Nada always seems to end up playing against races that aren't always Terran compared to some of his other matches we've had. Oh, now look at that using the Hellions. Oh. The Hellions are actually like shooting through the floor.
Yeah, they are.
This just looks weird.
Yeah, and
things are just guys are just bursting into flames.
We have Blue Flame and Siege tanks on the way.
Spontaneously combust.
The floor is on fire. Listen, Marines, you're crazy, man. I don't know what you're talking about, Keen says. And looks like Keen's going to go straight up for his medevacs. Nada, on the other hand, pumping out his Hellions, his Siege tanks. He's got the starport with the reactor. The one thing about Nada that I am a little bit sad to see is that he has not gone for a Raven. He did have that add-on, the Tech Lab on. And I just love to see the quick Raven. It helps out just immensely, and without it, I feel like there's a lot more vulnerabilities early on for mech against Marine Marauder.
I think you should always get the Raven.
Yeah.
I think you should absolutely always get it.
I like 2 Ravens with mech.
Yeah, 2 Ravens is good too. But it gives you such an edge at the late game and end game. And you know, the Raven is like the Swiss Army knife of StarCraft units.
Yeah, it's not something that's ever going to kill your opponent, but it's like a single point defense drone can make all the difference in one engagement.
Swiss Army knife unit. It's not going to kill your opponent, but it will open a bottle of wine, and you can clip your fingernails with it. You know.
Yeah.
There you go.
You can file them. You can cut string.
Yeah. Maybe cut leather.
Perhaps. Maybe you'll have one of those.
It might even have a fork on it. You can eat it with it.
Some of them have a fork on it.
I know somewhere there's a nerd out there whose dad bought him a Swiss Army knife when he was a kid. I always knew nerds like this because I was in Boy Scouts for like a brief period of time.
Yeah.
And then of course
I had some Swiss Army knives. Yeah.
We had a brief engagement here, and he had to back up. Looks like Keen going to get his third base a little bit quicker than Nada. Nada will have to lift his off.
And that's completely fine.
Yeah.
Because Nada's going mech. You expect your bio-playing opponent to out-expand you because you're going to be more cost-efficient. That's how it goes. You know, you're buying more expensive units, slower units. Of course he's going to be able to out-expand.
And with good Marauder control, you can make sure Hellion never escapes.
Yeah. Not if you start at max range, but a little bit closer than that.
Right.
Absolutely. Taking down these rocks. Smart move by Keen. I like how Nada's playing right now. He's already getting up sensor tower and some missile turrets because he realizes, okay, I need to start getting in a position where he can't drop harass me because I'm going to be taking a third. I'm going to be a little bit more spread out. And as you get a little bit more spread out, you're going to need some missile turrets. You're going to need some sensor towers.
Yeah.
Or a sensor tower to help deflect anything else that your opponent can do to you. So Nada getting ready to take this additional base. And of course, start at factories.
He will stay on 3 base for a while, most likely. If he does it the way that both Artosis and I believe is the best way to do it is to just max out on that.
And the fact of the matter is he didn't get a Raven, so he'll have a few more Siege Tanks right now than normal, a few more Vikings right now than normal, but without Ravens, Nada kind of has to go for a max.
Yeah.
I mean, attacking around 150 is a way we see so many Terrans lose with mech. And without good point defense drones...
Why are so many Terrans attacking at 150? Because it doesn't actually make any sense to me.
There are some
kind of cool times.
He's doing it too. See, it's the 150.
I'm so confused by this because
Terrans do like this timing. And
it's always... I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Let's see if it works here.
Well, you know, I think what Nada's thinking here is, hey, I want to get in position.
Oh, maybe just take the center, not actually attack.
Which is kind of okay because he did scout Keen's third, so he knows that his units might be a little bit lower.
If you take the center, though, I mean, can't they just medevac drop into your main?
Well, that's why he's got to build turrets and
sensor tower. But I mean, even then, like, the tanks are so out of position, they have to unsiege, and everything would have to go back towards the main. You could kill off a lot of stuff in that amount of time.
Certainly. That's... You know, hopefully with Vikings and sensor towers, he can react quick enough. Nada pushing forward very, very quickly here. Their supplies are very similar. I'm a little bit nervous for Nada. And that's a lot of medevacs, Tasteless. With where the Vikings are sitting right now, those medevacs will deliver their payload to the main base of Nada.
All right, now he's going to scan. If he's really paying attention, he will say there's no medevacs there.
Yeah. Oh, he did not drop them in the main. He instead, just putting those down on the ground. He's going to do a flank. And there's no point defense drone. He's going to get flanked big time, and this should beat Nada's army. Nada's kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, man. Well, what is he doing now?
Well, he can go counterattack. King can do whatever he wants because Nada is, for some reason, way up in the middle of the map with a non-max mech army.
All right, so Nada getting uncomfortable now.
That's exactly. He needs to go and crush this army right now. This is perfect move if he chases that army a little bit, because that way he can kill the medevacs, which would be nice. And here comes his opponent.
They're not exactly getting there at the same time. One shows up before the other.
Will Nada hold? He will. And despite being flanked, you know, as you said, Tasteless, it was not exactly the same time that the flank hit. And that really weakened its strength, and Nada did crush. He's up 36 supply right now. Got a lot of units left over.
Okay. Sieging up over here.
Nada should actually just sit still for a moment.
Yeah, I don't think he should go any further. I do like this, though. This is good. He's going to get this barracks over here.
No reason not to. And, you know, he's already killed off so many medevacs. That's going to make it very difficult for Keen. How is Keen going to break out of here? It's going to be hard. Nada right now adding some more facts, getting more upgrades, getting another command center. He's just got a macro like a crazy person. So have a lot of units up there.
All right, he scanned this and he actually saw that pickup. So this actually might be an ample moment for the Vikings to move. And let's see if he does that.
No, I think he actually, even though he scanned it, I don't think he happened to be looking there. I guess he was. His Vikings are going all the way over.
I'm actually surprised Keat even did this.
Yeah, it's a little bit dangerous. But, well, we're going to see here.
Oh, no!
And this is nice, bringing those Hellions in to take out any Marines so that his Vikings can kill all the medevacs.
I'm surprised he didn't chase down that last medevac. Oh!
Yeah, that's why. And, oops, loses a lot of his siege tanks. Well, you know, Nada's still fine, though. He's still up by over 20 supply because he has killed off some pretty big chunks of Keen's army. But, of course, losing siege tanks is always very, very painful for mech. Luckily for Nada, he does have 5 facts, up 2 with reactors, 3 with tech labs, so he can, you know, get his max up pretty quickly still, despite losing those units.
All right, here's a small little army moving over this way, the one from before. Now these Banshees can take out the rest of this. All right, here we go. Banshee's doing damage. Hellions burning down these Marauders.
Oh, but he's going to kill off a few siege tanks again.
And he's going to get center control, which is huge on this map.
But the Hellions are coming back, and there's a lot of Marines mixed in there. Will he actually? Nope, he's not going to go into that siege tank range. Good choice by Nada.
They're both basically fighting over that watchtower right there, scanning each other because they need to get vision. Because that smoke screen kind of messes stuff up.
Yeah, it does. A couple Thors are out to help counter the Vikings, which are going to give the vision advantage. But, you know, there's enough Vikings out there, those Thors aren't going to be too scary right now. Nice scan there, seeing Keen move down. And Nada playing. This is kind of cool. Nada's playing a much more mobile mech than we've seen. And even though it's looked a little bit weak at some points, and he's lost chunks of it at some points, it's still doing a pretty darn good job. You know, this is like this is a different, slightly different flavor the way he's doing it.
All right, he is going to get this one planetary over here, thanks to the medevacs healing the Marines and Marauders.
And the planetary killing off a lot of Marines. Nada should just fly over and kill all those medevacs.
Looks like he wants to.
Decided not to.
I almost feel like in this game he values the Vikings more than the tanks.
Yeah, it kind of seems like
as far
that.
as the way he handles his units and tries to keep them safe and everything.
Well, they are important, but yeah, the siege tanks are the backbone of the army, and Nada right now is throwing down 3 command centers. Just looks like they're going to be probably for mules.
Well, Nada's maxed out and Keen's maxed out. So, you know, it's a point in time when the money starts to pile up. There's not as much to spend on. Obviously, the mech player wants to get a lot of turrets up and make sure he can't be dropped into his main.
That's right. And a lot of these Hellions going to be taken out, but that allows Nada to make more tanks. He doesn't really care all that much right now because he does have... He wants to get more and more tanks in his army. Get that better set of units. He is working on that +3 tank attack, which is just going to make them do silly amounts of damage.
Command centers are almost complete.
Yep. I'm sure he'll take at least one more base with those. Probably start killing off a few more SCVs as well. And oh my god, Blue
nice
Flame
catch.
Hellions catching a lot of SCVs there. Very well done by Nada.
Very nicely done.
You know, I don't see too much of a plan from Keen here. I'm not really sure what his agenda is. You know?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. All right, he's going to come in over here.
He's going to try it. Where are all Nada's units? They're kind of down to the south. And he only hits with a portion of his army.
Yeah, that's so weird. I mean, you want to attack with everything, hit it so hard.
Yeah, you want to hit everywhere at once, flanks, different areas that you're attacking into, spread out units. It's very important to engage.
This is one of the first TBTs where you see that nobody can control the watchtower for an extended period of time. And I'm not sure exactly what his plans from here. By the way, it does have +2 attack. Nada does.
Yeah.
On his...
+2 is on the way for Keen.
Yep.
But +3 going to finish for Nada first.
Yeah, to hit in the timing like that would be huge before his upgrades finish. Right, we have a huge battle going on over here. Siege tanks hitting Marines, Vikings taking out medevacs. The center of the map is finally been given up to Keen, but does that mean he's in the lead? It's not entirely clear because, frankly, the unit mixture right now for Nada does seem to be a little bit better. He just has 2 Thors, a Marine Marauder, and a siege tank up there. That does seem like something that would be easy to take back.
Well, yeah, that's quite true. And Nada is remaxing pretty quickly. Definitely a different style of mech than what we've seen in the matchup. It's kind of fits his style very well as well. Uh-oh, landing these Vikings against upgraded Marines and Marauders. But he does have that high ground and quite a few of them. So holds for now, but this is very wasteful by Nada.
Who was it? Was it you that said that the Vikings, when they land, they look like ducks?
I don't know. It might have been.
I can't remember. Somebody told me that they look like baby gooses or something when they walk around landed.
That's cute. It's kind of true, too.
Yeah, it is.
But Nada's style here, he was known as the Tornado Terran in StarCraft 1. That was one of his many nicknames. And it was kind of because he would play a little bit like this, where he's a little bit swarmy like a Zerg. And he macros up so many units, and like no matter how many times he kills units, he has a lot more units. And that's kind of what he's doing here. He still has more supply. And a lot of weird battles going on, but once again, killing off all the medevacs will end up killing all these Thors, it looks like, as well.
And now the positional advantage that Keen had. Oh, never mind. There's reinforcements coming here from Keen still.
There are indeed. Nada out of position with a lot of his units, losing his Vikings off. Just one Viking left alive there. And without that Viking force, that's going to be it's going to be a little bit harmful for him. But we have no medevacs for Keen right now, so
he might actually want to just go in there and try to kill that attack right now. Those siege tanks for Keen are all bruised pretty badly.
Yeah, and they're all sitting there alone as well. Nada right now trying to get back into position to actually hold, and Keen hitting a good little attack here. It looks like Nada just barely going to have enough. A very scrappy and odd game.
Ooh, and Nada just barely holds.
Yeah. More and more Marines and Marauders coming out. He can rally those up very, very quickly. But Nada does have that +3 attack, which can be quite crucial. But look at this, a nice little attack here by Keen. Nada spread out in funny ways. Excuse me.
All right, Keen now backing up. Still with center control. That is really good for Keen. You know, you always want to have center control in this. Right now, the supplies 129 to the 150 of Nada. So Nada in pretty good shape. The siege tank goes down.
Nice little snipe by Nada, taking out 2 siege tanks is a huge deal right before the SCVs get there to repair as well. And in fact, Nada, nice move up there. Bam, down goes the siege tank. And he is trying to take yet another base in the top left, but Keen kind of getting into position to do something, bringing SCVs this time as well. Nada's going to bring all his units up. A lot of tanks siege down at the bottom.
And it looks like it's just barely not going to be enough.
Yeah, Nada just keeping on top of his macro. Always ahead in supply, playing a very different breed of mech, very reminiscent of StarCraft 1 style that he has used from time to time back then. Not as turtly, a lot more about the macro and moving around constantly. Really cool to see that. Really.
Is that siege tank going to get away?
I guess so.
You're kidding me. I was sure that siege tank was going to be dead.
Nada taking that center tasteless. I don't know what Keen's going to do against that.
So Keen had center control, then lost, and it looks like now he's trying to start sending hordes of SCVs into the battle with him because I think Keen suddenly realizes he's just been outmatched. No, excuse me, he's sending SCVs to the expansion.
Well, you know, he's got to keep that expansion mining, but Nada right now way up in supply by about 70. And that is bad news for Keen because not as only is he up in supply, but it's a more cost-efficient mix. He does have some Vikings again. And Keen losing some units there.
Oh man, he's cut off Keen from his only expansion right now. Now Keen desperately trying to check the center to see if he can reclaim that. He cannot. Things are starting to not look good for him. He's landed Vikings at the expansion.
Yeah, very well done there. But Keen running around the map right now. GG. Nothing left for him to do.
He just wore Keen down that game.
Cool style from Nada. It's a cool new take on mech. The way to do it. You know, he's kind of more active all over the map, a little bit more aggressive with it, a little bit more forcing trades in areas where he's like, well, I'm going to come out slightly ahead in this trade, and I'm getting my bases pretty quickly and macroing up really well using a lot of Hellions. Yeah. Cool.
It was an enjoyable game. I still don't get, why do people push at 150? I still do not get
this was definitely different than the other 150 pushes. Normally the 150 pushes have Ravens involved. And the thing is, if you engage just right with that, and you know, if their army isn't completely together, you'll end up killing off a lot. You know, you'll end up doing a pretty good job with it overall. But the way Nada did it, definitely different. I did not really like the way Nada did it as much, but he did scout the very quick third base from Keen. So, I can live with it. I can live with it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the Protoss player just seems kind of strange to me. And most of the time when they do push, they end up losing.
Yeah.
I mean, not in this case, but other pro gamers, it's just it's kind of strange.
No, it's quite true. We see it quite often. It's just people making mistakes. Mech is a very difficult thing to play. People love to... No one likes to just sit around and turtle and macro, you know. Only I love that, tasteless. So, it's hard to play mech correctly in TVT. There's no question about it.
It's very, very difficult, but very rewarding when you manage to do it well.
Yeah.
We're going to go to game number 2 now.
Cloud Kingdom. All right, Keen has chosen the map. We're going to have to see what does he have planned for it. We've seen a lot of proxies on this map, TVT. Will this game be one of those?
Who will be the king of the Cloud Kingdom? Will it be Keen, or will it be Nada? Or will it remain that floaty shark in the middle of the map? We're going to find out soon. Keen versus Nada TBT. These guys have a lot of history. A lot. Keen always losing to Nada. If Keen could come back 2 games, that would be huge.
Yeah, that would be a pretty big deal.
All right, well, get ready, guys. Tasteless and Artosis guiding you through some of the sickest StarCraft strats and esports history here in the GSL Code S.